Always pleasure to have you here, and can't just stop talking with you. So maybe some snippets of our talk for the larger audience. Before we start, I know you could not have understood the songs which were being played, but how was the energy?
It was fantastic, and I mentioned to Tom that I had to sing during our first meeting. It would have been a very short partnership. So very impressive.
Great. Now, I think from the larger audience perspective, they always hear me talking about our relations with Dynapower and how we gel and work together. Maybe if you want to share your perspective on Newen and our relationship, I think they'll be very happy to hear that.
I'd be honored. So as Nitin said, my name is Knudsen. I'm the CEO of Dynapower. Maybe just a few minutes on our business so you can understand the connection and bluntly how I got to be sitting here and why I am here. So our business was founded in 1963. So as you were mentioning, it does go by very, very quickly. As I was chatting with Nitin and Natasha over dinner, my middle daughter, Emerson, said, "Dad, you recently celebrated 30 years with Dynapower, and that is over half your life." So a couple of comments. One, I'm very pleased that my daughter can do the mathematics, which was good. And also that my journey, like all of your journey, it takes decisions that are made by you and others. And those decisions, when you make the right ones over the years, they equate to relationships being built. They do equate to success in a lot of different ways to define success. And for me, the most impactful one is to actually work with people that build a phenomenal culture that can stay together over time to have a worldly impact. Thank you. And this is going to shock most of you. That is not easy. You know, founding a business is not easy. Recruiting talent to help you grow a business is not easy. Executing operations and sales and keeping the team together over many years is not easy. What we in the clean energy world do is not easy. And it's been my personal experience that you don't want, you need to find partners that share that passion, that share the technical and the operational and the sales and administrative talent. And you have to find partners where the culture is complementary. And the reason that I'm sitting on this couch after 30 years in the industry and more than a half a dozen years working with Nitin and Nitesh and the entire Newen team is because we have found that partner in Newen Systems, and we're honored to be partnered with them. I promise not to answer every question with 10 minutes.
No, but I think that's a great perspective, Adam, and we're truly delighted to hear your thoughts and perspective. Now, moving beyond our relationship, the impact that we are creating to the world, and how you see the US market and the global market, and now as you are getting more and more insight into India market, what do you think are the key levers of growth, and what is our shared impact to that growth? If you can share some of your thoughts.
Yeah, so for me, it starts with what problem are you trying to solve? You have to have a challenge. And then is the technology, does it exist to solve that problem? Do you need to develop the solution? And then is that solution safe? And if that solution is technically capable, is safe in the execution, and that solution can be expanded to have an impact beyond a pilot system, then the economics work, the projects can be financed. And when you get to a situation where the solution that you're bringing to the market can be financed, then you have a business. And if you have a business, then you need to grow, scale to have an impact in that. So what I'm thrilled to say, and it didn't happen today, I think it happened a few years ago, in the clean energy industry, we have a business. It has reached, I have a degree in physics and electrical engineering, so a little bit of physics. It has reached a critical mass. So when an industry reaches a critical mass, it attracts talent, it attracts investment, and that's global. And so what I'm thrilled about is some of the most talented professionals, be it new graduates or be it people that maybe have a little gray hair, they choose to spend their career in clean energy. And when you do that, innovation accelerates, project deployment accelerates, and the impact globally accelerates. So, to answer the second question, the US market, the international market, and the India market, when we think of clean energy, it's not a single path. It's everything from battery energy storage, enhancing renewable energy and power quality, to e-mobility and the electrified motive applications that our technologies support, to microgrids, and Tom's crew bringing reliable energy and power solutions to Australia and beyond. And microgrid solutions globally, I think, are going to continue to accelerate. And then for the clean energy side, one of the other really important, and I believe critical markets globally, is hydrogen. And hydrogen has been around for a long time. The uses of hydrogen and the cost-effective separation, storage, and deployment as an end product or as a fuel source, it is significantly accelerating. Now, it doesn't feel that way. Based in the United States, there's some energy policies that were recently launched to incentivize hydrogen growth, and it had the exact opposite. It slowed it down. And what happened was the U.S. Department of Energy provided incentives, but didn't clarify how they're going to be used. So everybody that was moving on very large projects in the U.S. said, well, wait a second, maybe we should pause for a little while until we understand the economic impact. Well, December 15th of this year, so a few more months, is when those policies will be finalized and deployed. So we are starting to see several of the large projects in the United States, in this case specifically hydrogen, really start to re-energize and move forward with confidence on what gets announced in December. And these aren't small projects. Dynapower just delivered 225 megawatts of chopper technology for the world's largest green hydrogen project in Aces, Utah, with our partners Mitsubishi. Thank you. And that chopper technology is technology that Nitin and I are discussing bringing to the India manufacturing and the India market. So long answer to the question, hydrogen is going to rebound in the United States around the second half of 2025 based on these incentives. And we think the global hydrogen market, and specifically the European market and the Asian market, they're going to rebound even sooner than the US. So we have to be ready for this next wave of growth, which is why the Gen 5 development, the HPSX development, these are all products that Newen and Dynapower are collaborating together to develop. So we're seeing the reasons why some of the hydrogen slide to the right, US policy, maybe some inflation issues, unfortunately some challenges globally. But we see a lot of those moving in a positive direction over the course of the next 12 to 24 months. So we see hydrogen to be solid. We see e-mobility, even though there's been some concerns of the way that the e-mobility growth looks, we see that rebounding. The critical mass for clean energy, we've passed it. And so we're going to continue to see growth over the next several years.
No, absolutely. In fact, just to share some numbers I was reading maybe a few weeks back, they said the amount of investment which is happening in clean energy is overshooting the investment in AI field. So that's the kind of investment globally which is coming into the field. One key thing is, with so much of investment coming in, with talents getting attracted towards the industry, we still see that government policies play a substantially large role in adoption of many of these products and technologies. Now, one thing which I can think of is, because the scale of investment for these projects are so huge, so unless the government is there, the financing is a problem. But if we take out the government angle, do you see that we have reached inflection point, or maybe we have gone beyond the inflection point, wherein on its own it can run for maybe next 5 years, 10 years, however far in the future you can look at?
So on the incentive, strategy, I am a supporter of incentivizing disruptive technologies. Solar is a disruptive technology. Battery energy storage is a disruptive technology. I'm not a supporter of incentives forever, because there's the next technology that needs the incentive. And so I think it's up to us, and the global us, to drive deployment at a scale that returns efficiencies and sustainability to the industry, which means we all have to take our passions and our talent, and we need to grow and focus on responsible growth. You know, again, I was chatting with Tom a little bit about, I make the analogy of our market and our growth as a surfer. If you're too aggressive, then you crash forward. If you're not aggressive enough, you never get on the wave. So what I think the skill is we have to maintain the surfing wave as the wave gets much, much bigger. And so I think it's really important for us to continue to drive global alignment and global incentives, because it will help our industry scale much, much faster than the prior innovative technologies. But then in the near future, and I think it's 10 years, we need to be on our own. And those incentives need to be allocated to other disruptive technologies, which likely we can continue to seek and participate in.
I think moving beyond markets, and this has been your key strength, Adam, in terms of how you engage with the team and the people. I know you have traveled around the world, you have visited so many countries, met so many people. But coming here, looking at this crowd, any few words like how they are different, or what do you expect from them?
So in order to answer that question, I have to admit what I admitted to you, I think, a couple nights ago. Nitin is correct in that I have had the privilege of traveling the world, mostly on behalf of my business. And I cherish that. And up until 6-7 years ago, I had never been to India. And bluntly, I didn't see myself being drawn to India based on my travels. And then I had a chance and was invited to come and meet Nitin and the team, and Ramani and the Raychem crew. And I remember coming back and saying to my wife, who thinks I make a lot of mistakes very frequently, that I could not have been more wrong about India, the people, the culture, and of course our partnership. So taking all of that, the people within the Newen family were my primary experience in falling in love with India. So I think that answers your question about how I feel about Newen, how I feel about the team, extremely talented and passionate. And as I said, if we can find partners that put a mirror to a phenomenal culture that we have at Dynapower, developed by many, many people, and find a partner like Newen where that culture of passion and sustainability and caring about its people, then we found a partner for a long, long time. So
I think with that, I must tell you one thing, guys. Adam has more number of hours of travel than what he has stayed here. So he has specifically took time out of his busy schedule, out of his family schedule to visit us. So a big round of applause and standing ovation to Adam. Thanks a lot, Adam.
thank you, Nitin, and thank you, Newen.